Imagine this, a man in his 70s living a peaceful, ordinary life. Last night, he went to bed like any other night. His family had no reason to worry. He seemed healthy, happy, just like the day before. There were no major health concerns, no signs of anything out of the ordinary. But then the next morning, he never woke up. His family was shocked, devastated. It felt like everything was just fine, until it wasn't. What happened? Could this have been prevented? In our later years, our bodies start to change in ways we often don't even notice, until something happens that wakes us up to the risks. Certain habits, even the most seemingly harmless ones, can silently be putting our health in danger. Some of these habits are so ingrained in our daily routine that we don't even think twice about them. But after the age of 70, those habits might be quietly increasing the chances of serious health issues, like strokes, heart attacks, or even sudden death, just like the man we just talked about. But here's the thing. Many of these habits, as dangerous as they may be, are not set in stone. By simply adjusting a few things we do before bed, we can improve the quality of our sleep and drastically lower our risk of health complications. So if you're over 70 or have a loved one who is, stay with me. In the next few minutes, we're going to dive into 4 bedtime habits you need to be aware of. These habits might surprise you, and they might be things you've been doing for years without even thinking about them. But once you understand how they affect your health, you'll be able to make small, powerful changes that will help you sleep better, feel healthier, and most importantly, protect your future. Stay with me until the end, because the last habit we talk about is something most seniors unknowingly do every single night. It could be putting their health in serious danger, but don't worry, I'll show you what you can do instead to make sure you get the safe, restful sleep you deserve. Let's get started. Let me take you back to a quiet evening when you're winding down after a long day. The house is calm, the kitchen lights dim, and it feels like the perfect time for that one last indulgence, a big meal to satisfy your hunger before bed. For many of us, this is a routine. Maybe it's a comforting bowl of pasta, a rich steak, or even a slice of cake. It feels harmless, right? After all, you've had a busy day and a full stomach can feel like the perfect way to end it. But here's the thing. As we get older, our bodies aren't as forgiving as they once were. When you're young, your body can handle a heavy meal at any time of day, and you can still sleep soundly through the night. But as we age, things change. Your metabolism slows down, and your digestive system doesn't process food as efficiently. So that last meal of the day, it might not be so easy to digest. Picture this. A man in his late 70s, let's call him John, decides to treat himself to a hearty dinner around 8 p.m. He enjoys his meal, full of rich sauces and hearty meats. At first he feels content, even satisfied. But as he lies down to sleep a couple of hours later, he starts to feel uncomfortable. A burning sensation creeps up his chest. It's heartburn, something he never had to deal with before. He rolls over, hoping to sleep through it, but the discomfort keeps him awake. And while he's lying there, his heart rate is higher than it should be, and his body is still busy trying to digest the meal. That night, John spends his sleep in a light, restless state, never fully reaching the deep, restorative stages of sleep his body needs. This scenario might sound familiar to many of us, but it's more than just discomfort. It's a silent risk that we often overlook. When you eat a heavy meal too late, your body is still working hard to digest it while you're trying to rest. Your heart rate stays elevated, your body produces more stomach acid, and your digestive system is fully engaged when it should be winding down for the night. For seniors, this can lead to even bigger risks. Chronic acid reflux, also known as GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, can develop, weakening the muscles in your throat and increasing the chances of aspiration pneumonia, a serious and sometimes fatal lung infection. More than just heartburn, these nighttime disruptions can also increase the chances of more serious events, like heart attacks or strokes. And here's something we often overlook. If you're someone who already has high blood pressure, eating too late can contribute to spikes in blood sugar levels, making it harder for your body to regulate your glucose while you sleep. It's not just an inconvenience, it's a health risk. So what's the simple takeaway here? If you're in your 70s or beyond, Try to finish your last meal of the day at least 3 to 4 hours before you plan to go to bed. This gives your body enough time to process the food, allowing it to relax and focus on sleep rather than digestion. And if you're someone who needs a snack before bedtime, choose something light, maybe a handful of nuts, a small piece of fruit, or even a cup of warm herbal tea. These choices not only give your body something to digest easily, but they can actually help you sleep better without adding extra strain to your system. By making this simple shift, you're giving your body the time it needs to unwind fully. It's a small adjustment that can make a big difference. And the best part is that it's easy to incorporate into your daily routine. Now let's move on to the next habit, one that many of us think is helping our health, but might actually be doing more harm than good. Hydration is a key part of staying healthy, especially as we get older. We've all been told to drink plenty of water throughout the day to keep our bodies functioning well. And while that's true, there's something we often overlook: the timing of our hydration. You see, as we age, our bodies become less efficient at holding onto water, and we become more sensitive to how much liquid we consume in the evening. Imagine this scenario. A woman named Sarah in her early 70s has always been diligent about staying hydrated. She drinks water throughout the day, but towards the end of the evening, she's often thirsty and finishes off a large glass of water before heading to bed. Initially, it feels like a good habit, a way to make sure she doesn't wake up thirsty in the middle of the night. But here's what happens next. As she drifts off to sleep, her bladder begins to fill, and before long, she wakes up in the middle of the night with an urgent need to use the bathroom. Now, this may not seem like a big deal at first, but for seniors, it can have serious consequences. The simple act of getting up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom can lead to something called postural hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when you stand up quickly, causing dizziness, lightheadedness, or even fainting. This is one of the most common causes of nighttime falls, which can be devastating for older adults. Sarah, like many seniors, finds herself waking up multiple times each night to go to the bathroom. She's exhausted in the morning, and over time, this broken sleep pattern starts to affect her health. Her blood pressure increases, and she feels more fatigued, less sharp. The constant disruptions to her sleep also impact her mental clarity during the day. But it's not just about getting up in the middle of the night. It's about how her body is reacting to the imbalance in hydration. Now, here's something most people don't know. Drinking too much liquid at night can also disturb the natural production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for deep, restorative sleep. Every time Sarah wakes up and turns on a light, even briefly, it tricks her brain into thinking it's morning, making it harder for her to fall back asleep. The lesson here is simple. While staying hydrated is important, timing matters. It's not about cutting out water entirely in the evening. It's about adjusting how much you drink and when. Instead of drinking a large glass of water just before bed, try to drink the majority of your fluids earlier in the day. By late afternoon, start tapering off. If you're still thirsty in the evening, take small sips instead of gulping down a full glass. This allows your body to process the liquid more effectively and reduces the likelihood of waking up in the middle of the night. Also, be mindful of hidden sources of liquid in your diet. Foods like soups, fruits with high water content, or certain medications can all contribute to your body's overall fluid intake. The key is to stay aware of how much you're consuming and to be intentional about your hydration habits. By making a small change like this, you'll reduce the number of nighttime trips to the bathroom and improve the quality of your sleep. You'll wake up feeling more refreshed and less fatigued, and your body will thank you for it. Now let's move on to the next habit, one that seems harmless but can actually be affecting your health more than you realize. It's something we all enjoy, especially during the colder months, but it could be silently putting your well-being at risk. We've all heard that a cozy, warm bedroom can help us sleep better. It feels comforting, doesn't it? The idea of curling up under thick blankets, surrounded by warmth, ready to drift into a peaceful night's sleep. For many of us, it's the perfect recipe for a restful evening. But here's something important to consider. As we get older, our bodies no longer regulate temperature the way they used to, and that cozy warmth we crave can actually be doing more harm than good. Let me tell you a story about a man named George. George is in his early 80s, and he's always been someone who loves a warm bedroom at night. For years, he's kept his room at a comfortable 75 degrees Fahrenheit, around 24 degrees Celsius, during the colder months, with extra blankets to keep him snug. But recently, George has been waking up more often throughout the night, feeling restless, sometimes even sweating. He's not sure why, but he figures it's just a part of getting older. What George doesn't realize is that the warmth in his bedroom is actually disrupting his sleep. You see, as we age, our bodies lose some of their ability to regulate temperature efficiently. We no longer sweat as easily, and our bodies struggle to cool down, especially while we sleep. This makes it harder for us to reach those deep stages of sleep that are essential for overall health and healing. When the room is too warm, George's body is forced to work harder to regulate its temperature. His heart rate increases, and his body stays in a more alert state rather than reaching the deep, restorative sleep needed for recovery. This can lead to feelings of grogginess in the morning, and over time, it puts unnecessary strain on the cardiovascular system. But it doesn't stop there. Sleeping in a room that's too warm can also increase the risk of dehydration. When our bodies overheat, even slightly, it can cause a mild form of dehydration that thickens the blood, making it more prone to clots. This can increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes, especially for seniors who already have underlying health issues. So what's the lesson here? The ideal sleep environment, especially for seniors, is actually a cooler room. Experts recommend keeping the bedroom temperature between 60 degrees Fahrenheit and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius to 19 degrees Celsius. This cooler environment encourages the body to naturally lower its core temperature, which is essential for reaching deep sleep. Not only does this improve the quality of your sleep, but it also reduces the strain on your heart and circulatory system. You don't have to sacrifice comfort to get better sleep. Instead of piling on heavy blankets, try layering lighter, breathable fabrics like cotton that help keep you cool without trapping heat. You can also use a fan or open a window for fresh air circulation, which helps maintain that optimal temperature while improving air quality. And if you tend to feel cold, consider using a light fleece throw or an extra sheet rather than a thick comforter. By making these small adjustments, you'll help your body relax into a deeper, more restorative sleep. You'll wake up feeling more refreshed, energized, and ready to take on the day. Now let's move on to the next habit, something that many seniors do every single night without realizing its potential dangers. It may seem innocent, even comfortable, but it could be silently affecting your health more than you think. Let's dive into it. When we think about sleep, most of us focus on how long we sleep or whether the room is quiet and dark enough. But have you ever considered the position in which you sleep? It's one of the most overlooked factors affecting sleep quality, and as we age, the way we sleep can have a profound impact on our health. Let's consider the story of Mary, a sprightly woman in her 70s who has always enjoyed sleeping on her back. For years, she found it comfortable, her pillow just right, her body relaxed. But lately, she's been waking up feeling more tired than usual. She feels tightness in her chest and sometimes experiences shortness of breath, especially when she first wakes up. At first, Mary thought it was just part of getting older. However, after visiting her doctor, she learned something surprising. The way she was sleeping was actually contributing to her discomfort and health concerns. You see, when you sleep on your back, gravity pulls your tongue and soft tissues at the back of your throat downward, partially blocking your airway. This can lead to a condition known as obstructive sleep apnea, where your breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. The worst part? Many people like Mary don't even realize they have it. It can cause a strain on the heart and increase the risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and even sudden cardiac arrest. Mary's doctor recommended she try sleeping on her side instead, and while it took some adjustment, over time, she began to notice a difference. She felt less congested when she woke up and more energized throughout the day. The tightness in her chest started to ease, and her breathing became less labored. By simply changing her sleeping position, Mary was able to reduce the strain on her heart and improve her overall well-being. The lesson here is simple. Your sleeping position matters. As we age, our bodies change, and sleeping on our backs can exacerbate problems like sleep apnea, poor circulation, and heart strain. But here's the good news. Making a small adjustment can lead to significant improvements. Experts recommend sleeping on your left side, especially if you suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. This position helps improve circulation and allows your heart to pump more efficiently. It can also reduce the likelihood of stomach acid creeping up into your throat, providing relief from uncomfortable reflux. For those with sleep apnea or breathing difficulties, sleeping on your side opens up your airway and helps prevent obstructive breathing patterns. If you find it hard to stay on your side during sleep, try using a body pillow to keep yourself in position. A small adjustment like placing a pillow between your knees can also help maintain proper spinal alignment and reduce pressure on your lower back, making it more comfortable to stay on your side throughout the night. By making this simple change, you're not just improving your sleep quality, you're also protecting your heart, lungs, and overall health. Now let's shift gears and talk about the one last habit that could be silently affecting your health every single night. It's something we all think we're doing right, but in reality, it could be putting us at risk. Let's take a closer look. As we've discussed, the little things we do at night, like when we eat, how much we drink, the temperature in our room, and how we sleep, can have a big impact on our health. And here's the beautiful thing. Making small changes in our nighttime routine can lead to big improvements in how we feel, how well we sleep, and how we wake up each morning. Take a moment and think back to the last time you had a restful night of sleep. Maybe you woke up feeling refreshed, your mind clear, and your body full of energy. It's a feeling we all crave, yet for many of us, it can feel elusive. But here's the thing. We don't need to wait for a miracle to sleep better. It's about making conscious, simple changes that we can start today. Let me tell you about Tom, a man in his 80s who struggled with sleep for years. He would wake up every night around 2 a.m., wide awake and unable to fall back asleep. His mind would race and his body felt restless. It wasn't until he decided to take a closer look at his nighttime routine that he started making small, intentional changes. He started by eating dinner a little earlier, giving his body more time to digest before bed. Then he cut back on the large glasses of water he would drink right before sleep. And instead of turning the heat up in his room, he opted for a cooler bedroom temperature and added some extra layers to his blanket. Tom also began sleeping on his side, which relieved some of the pressure he had been feeling on his chest. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but over time, Tom started noticing a difference. His sleep quality improved, and he felt more energized in the mornings. The little changes he made weren't drastic, but they had a lasting effect on his overall health. The lesson here is clear. Big results don't always require big changes. It's the small adjustments, the ones that seem almost too simple to matter, that can make a profound difference over time. So what can you do today? Start by choosing one of these habits to adjust. Maybe you'll decide to finish your last meal a bit earlier, or keep your bedroom cooler at night. Perhaps you'll try changing your sleep position and see if it helps your body relax more fully. Whatever it is, just remember, these small steps add up, and each change brings you one step closer to better sleep and better health. You don't have to make every change all at once. Start with one habit, and once it feels natural, move on to the next. Your body will thank you, and in time, you'll notice the benefits of a well-rested, healthier life. Now that you've got some practical tips in your pocket, it's time to take action. By making small but intentional changes tonight, you'll set yourself up for a better tomorrow. The road to better sleep doesn't have to be complicated. It just takes a little awareness and the willingness to make those small changes that can have a lasting impact. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope these tips inspire you to make positive changes in your own life. Remember, your health and your sleep are worth it. Let's continue making small changes for a better night's sleep, and together we'll wake up stronger, healthier, and more energized every day. As we've explored today, the small habits we have before bed can truly shape our health in ways we often don't realize. From what we eat and drink, to the temperature of our room and how we sleep, each decision we make can either support our well-being or put it at risk. The good news is, we have the power to make changes that will improve our sleep, protect our hearts, and keep us feeling healthier as we age. Remember, these aren't drastic changes. They're simple, thoughtful adjustments that you can start making tonight. Whether it's finishing your dinner a little earlier, reducing your liquid intake before bed, keeping your room cooler, or adjusting your sleeping position. Each step is a step toward better health, and the beauty of it is, you don't have to do everything at once. Start with one change, And once it becomes a natural part of your routine, move on to the next. The journey to better sleep and better health doesn't happen overnight, but every small decision you make adds up over time. So I encourage you to take action. Try one of the tips we've discussed today and see how it impacts your sleep. You might be surprised at how much of a difference it can make. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope you feel inspired to take these insights and apply them in your life. Your health is in your hands, and with just a few changes, you can wake up feeling more rested, more energized, and ready to embrace the day. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on living a healthier, more fulfilling life. Share this video with anyone you think could benefit from these simple yet powerful changes. And remember, better sleep starts with small steps. Take that first step tonight and see where it leads you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.